been suffering.
Yeah.
He wouldn't admit it. And he said he saw you guys come through Perth, and then he said he went to seek help a couple of days later and sectioned him. That's
Really?
that's how. And I'm like, he said, what sort of, so you feel a bit guilty? He said, no, he said, you saved his life. He said he wouldn't have gone to the doctors if he hadn't seen you coming through. But then a couple of hours later, another guy came to me, told me the exact same story. It was either an employee or the workman, or his friend, about this guy. But he said you saved his life through what you've done. He only set out to do one, more the better, but we know he definitely did one.
One.
Yeah, so
It's crazy, isn't it?
It is.
How, like, it proves to show how big of an issue it is, and
It's
how
massive.
very little.
We don't talk.
Yeah.
None of us talk. And it's easy to just clam up, think it'll be alright in the morning, but it's no different in the morning.
No.
The mess just gets bigger.
But like you mentioned earlier as well, I think with the long working hours, and obviously you're in a cabin on your own, you don't really talk to anybody, so that problem sits with you.
It sits with you, and you stew on it, and then you just exaggerate it in your own head, and then, but it's the worst thing you can do. I've got some good friends who I talk to, and you've just got to offload.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people offload to me, and I don't mind, and that's what you're there for, to listen.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the community as well, because everybody understands each other. If you're in a similar field, then you're gonna know.
But when we did I went on tour basically with it, Highland show, Cheshire show, but the amount of people that came across, never met them, but they opened up.
Yeah.
Problems they've got, problems they've had.
Yeah.
And we were at the cereals event. There was a guy telling me about the problems he's had. He was going through cancer, mental health, and he said his son's been a rock. His son was like in his 30s.
Yeah.
And then there was a lady stood next to her, she took her hat off and she was going through cancer. And it just went
from there.
And you think, some of the stories you get told, it gets people talking.
Yeah.
And that's where the answer as a percent came from. How are you today? I'm all right, I'm okay. What's the real truth?
Yeah.
And that's where we met. Well, we didn't meet him at first. When we were coming down from John O'Groats, this guy stood at the end of his drive with 60%. Good luck team, Olly, made a signpost, and it was like, and I took a picture of him.
Just completely on a whim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we weren't expecting it. We're early morning. Nobody's going to be up.
Yeah.
But they were up. Even when we left John O'Groats, there was a crowd waiting for us to leave to see us off. And then the trip was amazing. But going back, we called him the 60% guy.
Yeah.
You feel a bit tight really because you didn't know his name.
Yeah, of course.
We never met him, didn't speak to him, we waved and we carried on. And then I was at the Highland show and a guy come talking to me and he said, my neighbour saw you in the Highlands, and I said, just hang on, and I got my phone out, showed him a picture, and he was amazed that I remembered him.
Yeah.
I said, no, I said, he's stuck in our heads, because he was one of the first ones that thought, this is why we're doing it.
Yeah.
And then I said, I'd like to call and see him, because I go past a lot. And he said, well, I'll have to square it with him. Met back up with him on the Saturday night at the show, and that's where it led, when I met him. And his name's Gavin, and he was saying, he'd made the sign the night before, and he said I was ready, and then he said I could hear the combine roaring through the village, because it was dead, it was early morning. Run up to the end of his drive, put it there, but it meant so much to him as well. He'd had a rough time, COVID had hit, he'd lost a nice little milk order to a cheese factory because he couldn't produce enough, so they sacked him off, took us for a bigger boy. And it's just like, you're just getting kicked when you're down.
Yeah.
So, every time I go past, I travel to Orkney a lot, message him and I call in and have a brew.
That's amazing.
And he actually said to me last time, he said, a lot of people say they're going to do things and they never do.
And they don't follow.
But he says, you followed it through.
Yeah.
And I won't go past without calling.
Yeah.
So I'm going up next Thursday and I'm going to call, have a brew, put the world to rights.
It's amazing as well, isn't it, how little can make such a big difference, even giving somebody a phone call and going
Well, we
going
message
for brew.
probably once every 6 weeks, one month every 6 weeks, how you doing, usually about the weather.
Yeah.
He knows what we're up to mainly because of the blog. And it's just nice to keep in touch.
Yeah.
But don't say you're going to do it.
Just do it. Yeah.
You know, but he said it means a lot, you calling, and I don't, you know, it's not out my way. You know, you go past the end of his drive, and you know, it's nice if Olly's on about coming up. It'd be nice for him to call in as well.
Definitely. I can imagine he would love it.
Oh, he would love it. Yeah. But yet he saw Olly at one of the shows, and he said I was too shy to go and see him.
Oh, bless him.
And Olly said, "Oh, you should have come and said hello."
That's it, absolutely.
But, so that's where the answer of percent came from. And it is true, you don't answer correctly.
Yeah.
None of us do. Why we did the combine run was for two guys that had took their own life. I'm not sure how old Andrew was, 24, 25, David was 39.
That's really young, both of them.
They're both young. But if they'd have spoke, you'd like to think it would have helped.
Absolutely.
But they didn't. But we're all guilty of keeping quiet.
We are, aren't we? So how did the idea with the question about the percentage of how you feel, how did that come about?
It's just something Olly come up with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you think about it, it is a really, really great mission to make the problem open, almost like drag it out.
Yeah.
It's there. We all struggle.
Everybody
don't
struggles.
Don't be shy about it.
You go on like some of the TikTok stuff, and there's young people on there openly talking about it, and you think you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Don't cover it.
Absolutely.
Covering it, you might think it's the right thing, but you know, between the combine lads, we lost two good friends, and you know, they should be here today. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much,
problem.
Lee, for sharing the story with us. And all the best
Keep
for
going
the
with head
future ventures. Let's talk.
Let's talk. That's the thing, you talk.
Yeah.